These are the 20 best VR games from applab that you have to play on your Quest headset. Especially now that applab is integrated into the official Quest store, it means that you have access to so many more amazing VR games, from some being completely free to some other big hits as well as some hidden gems. So let's dive right into it, with the first one being Blacktop Hoops. This is also known as the ultimate VR basketball game, and it shows, since it has 17,640 ratings, that give it an overall near perfect 5-star score. And the main reason for it is that it includes an epic campaign mode, where you embark on a narrative journey while going up against some iconic streetball bosses, and hopefully becoming a legend yourself. But it also includes a lot of other game modes, letting you play 1v1 to complete teams against each other. Or if you want, you can also play against bots if you don't feel like playing online. But it is also thanks to the realistic basketball experience that, with its intuitive VR controllers, really makes you feel like you're inside the game itself, letting you slam dunk on the field in such a style that you might not even be able to pull off in real life. And to top it off, it also has an insane customizable avatar system, letting you completely create your character the way you want, as well as including many beautiful crafted basketball courts, going from Oakland to Athens and even New York City. So if you are a big basketball fan, then this game is definitely for you. And the second game is known as Ghost of Tabor. This hardcore VR first-person shooter made a big name for itself as one of the most played survival games that are available on applab, with a total of 11,800 ratings, gaining them a score of just above 4 stars. But keep in mind that this game is not for the light-hearted, because you will have to stay alive with a deeply featured survival system that is based on health, hunger, and even thirst, and where you will be constantly exploring the area to loot and shoot your way to safety. But the reason why people enjoy this game so much is because of the amazing environments that all of this takes place in, letting you really feel the thrill of hunting down the other players as well as avoiding incoming fire. That means its main focus is player versus player, but it also has different modes to let you play against bots, making it overall a very detailed and highly competitive game. And on number 3, we have Robo KO. This is a complete new game that just got released, but is directly setting itself up to become a major hit, because it is none other than a virtual reality boxing game, where you as the player will be guiding a robot with your own boxing movements directly one-on-one, which makes it feel like it comes straight out of the movie called Real Steel. And in wherever punch that you throw, your robot will mirror it perfectly. And since you can test your boxing skills against all players around the globe, it really lets you have an ultimate brawl to decide who is the very best. But if you want, you can also embark on a solo journey to stardom in their own single-player career mode. And since you can completely customize and personalize your own robot, you can make it into a one-of-a-kind fighting machine that reflects your style and unique fighting strategies. And on number 4, we have Pavlov Shag. This popular title started as a free demo on applab and has since got a full release on the official Quest store, with now sitting at a total of 3,146 ratings, giving them a total score of slightly above 4 stars. But it is probably best described as one of the most competitive VR shooters that are available in virtual reality, where their main focus is to double down on their team-based multiplayer with highly realistic weapon handling, where you can match up with your team and have to work out together how you're gonna tackle the objectives in the different game modes. But keep in mind that this game has a lot of highly skilled players in it, so when you're new to VR, this might be quite intimidating. But if you like a challenge, then this one is definitely for you. And on number 5, we have Formula X. This is another brand new title that seems to be getting ready to completely blow off the chart. And while it is still a hidden gem at the moment, with just 30 ratings and a near 4.5 stars, it managed to get all of these in just a couple of days. Now in it, you will become a world-class driver in your very own high-speed Formula race car, which makes it feel like a dream of many people is finally becoming a reality. And here you can feel the adrenaline rush, where you have to hug those hairpin turns while following the race lines to overpass your opponents. And of course, it includes anything that you come to expect from a Formula racing game, like making the crucial decision for a strategic pit stop, as well as the possibility for global competition, so that you can join the world's elite racers in high-stake multiplayer rounds. And besides, you can also take it back to training level in a single-player mode, where you can race against the clock or bots to test your limits in time trials. And at the moment, Formula X offers 10 iconic race circuits, each with their own unique challenges and surprises, as well as letting you customize your own racing machine, from the paint job to specific car parts. So if you are a big Formula 1 fan, then you should definitely check this one out. And on number 6, we have another hidden gem known as Unfold VR. This is a new VR drawing app that has a total of 7 ratings, with all of them at a maximum of 5 stars. With the reason for the lower amount of total ratings being that this game is still very new. But what makes it stand out from all the other VR drawing apps is that Unfold VR has its main focus on the social aspect, where you can see what other peoples have drawn and even like or dislike their content, which in a way gives you a feed of the most interesting content that is being served and made by other people as well as yourself. So besides just making your own creations, you can also get inspired by the work of others and remixing it to make it your own. So I'm very excited to see why the developers can take the project in the future to really make it the first social VR drawing app. And on number 7, we have Sport Mode. This very popular applab title is a fan favorite of many users, with a whopping 6,111 ratings that still get it close to a nearly perfect 5-star score, which directly makes it quite a big deal. And where the gameplay is based on very specific physics-driven VR interactions, it kinda gives a similar feel to big games like Bone Lab or Boneworks, where in arena mode you will have to fight off waves of enemies to achieve the highest score, while in Sandbox, you can spawn and manipulate NPCs or props as much as you want. So if you like to mess around in virtual reality with a very accurate physics-driven system, then Sport Mode is definitely for you. And on number 8, we have Mageworks. With your spellbook in one hand and your staff in the other, you will be traveling through a distant land to discover new spells, battle foes, and collect crafting resources to build your own staff, letting you completely embody a mage that has just finished their magic school and now has to venture out to explore the world, with the funny reason behind it that you do all of this mainly to pay off your big magic school debt that you've been building up over the years, with the game having a total of 30 spells to discover and unlock, with each their own map dedicated to them to explore. And although it was originally made for the 5 headsets, it has now been completely overhauled for the Quest, but it is important to keep in mind that it is still in development, with the developers working super hard behind the scenes to fixing up the bugs that are still present. But overall, it seems like this game can be a lot of fun for those who love magic casting. And on number 9, we have Battle Glide. If you love parkour or want to feel like you're Spider-Man inside an open-world sandbox game where you will also have to fight like a superhero, then this is exactly for you. And with a total of 2,637 ratings, scoring once again a nearly perfect 5 stars, it isn't difficult to see why so many users love this game, because it lets you explore an open city by rope climbing, jumping, or even climbing straight on the walls. But you can also take down criminals in countless creative ways, with the physical combat being one of the most satisfying parts of it, giving you a huge adrenaline rush while you're flying across the city and beating up these bad guys. And on number 10, we have BMX, with the game title being quite self-explanatory, because in it, you will ride your own freestyle bike while pulling off some insane tricks, making it a perfect game for people who love skating or always wanted to try out to pull off some insane tricks without breaking any legs. But it doesn't only let you do the basics, you can even pull off some wheelies and bar spins, as well as grinds and tail whips. And of course, you can customize your ride to your liking with an almost unlimited combination of bike parts, from the bars to the frames, as well as the seats and pedals, letting you create your own dream BMX inside virtual reality. And number 11 is Sharkbait. This is another VR game with loads of potential after its recent release, because here you will dive into the thrilling depths of the ocean, where you will have to complete levels by skillfully catching a variety of fish using your trusty spear gun. But at the same time, you will also have to manage your oxygen levels and depth, which adds a strategic twist to the gameplay. And the most dangerous part is that you also have to be careful for the big white sharks that could be around any corner. Now, as you progress through the game, you will face increasingly rare and challenging as well as dangerous fish species along the way, giving you the adrenaline rush of spearfishing in a virtual world. And it is not only the sharks that can be dangerous inside the waters, because there are many other foes like deadly jellyfish just waiting to get their hands on you. So if you love spearfishing, then give this one a shot. And number 12 is Puzzling Places. This is a slightly older title that already has seen a full release on the Meta Quest Store with over 2,280 ratings and also a near perfect 5-star score. But compared to all the previous titles, this one has some much more relaxing gameplay, letting you put together these hyper-realistic miniatures of beautiful places from around the world in a 3D jigsaw puzzling game, letting you enter a meditative flow while enjoying each place coming alive with their own unique and immersive soundscapes, kind of giving a modern take on an age-old pastime. So if you love puzzles, then this is it. And number 13, we have Grab. While its seemingly simple graphics are definitely nothing to write home about, its 7,569 ratings, gaining them just short of once again a perfect 5-star score, does tell you that a lot of people are enjoying it, with Grab being a multiplayer parkour game that lets you climb, jump and slide through the levels to reach the end without falling down, but with its core component being that it has a level editor, so that users can create their own places together and upload them for other people to play. So with over 3 million community levels, it surely gives you endless possibilities to keep playing this game. And on number 14, we have Veil, which is a multiplayer VR shooter delivering some insane combat. With 1,292 reviews and well over a 4.5-star score, it is one of the newer shooter VR games that seems to be very good looking, but it is the combat that people enjoy about it most, with immersive weapon interactions from reloading to changing its fire rate, while also having physics-based attacks that are highly accurate and satisfying when performing. And with it now also being a fully fledged game, it is great to see that so many applab titles are making their way onto the official Quest Store, which also goes for number 15, which is Ancient Dungeon. And no, this is not a Minecraft mod, but instead a hardcore dungeon crawler that clearly took its art inspiration from another popular title. But because of that, it also gives a very unique twist that for some reason quickly becomes highly addictive, and rocking in at 1,270 ratings and close to a 5-star perfect score, you will constantly have to dive deeper into the dungeons and discover its secrets. And even if you fail, every attempt will increase your next adventure's chances to escape unscattered, which is similar to some popular games like Hades. And on number 16, we have none other than Roblox. Well, of course, now also being on the Meta Quest Store, it took a very long time for it to finally release out of applab. And while it does have 6,006 ratings, it scored just only 4 stars in total. And this is mainly due to when it released, it got loads of bugs and problems, as well as not living up to a lot of people's expectations. Luckily, they did manage to address most of these issues through updates, but it still left a bad taste for many users. And while Roblox should almost need no introduction, it is one of the biggest games with millions of active daily users and thousands on thousands of worlds for you to explore. And on number 17, we have Maestro, the Master Class. While it might not look like the most action-packed game, this completely free VR title did actually gain quite a lot of popularity over time, with 1,515 ratings, nearing an almost perfect 5-star score. It is its unique gameplay that is completely different from anything you've seen so far, because you will have to step on a podium to become a true orchestra conductor by using your hand motions to command an entire epic symphony. But it is not just classical music. You can go from jazz to hip-hop to even electro. So if you've always wanted to be in charge of a mammoth orchestra, then this free title is a pretty good choice. Number 18, Battle Talent Demo. While the full game has already released on the Quest Store, the free demo is still a great choice if you just want to check out what the game is like. Because even though it used to have lots of bugs, at the same time it is also a challenge-based physics roguelike that lets you sword fight with loads of enemies. And it is great to see that games like this have a free demo version, which lets people try it out before making a full purchase. And number 19 is Cards and Tankards. This is another must-play free game, especially if you love card games similar to Hearthstone, but then inside virtual reality, reaching 1,406 ratings with just above 4 stars. It definitely makes it a great pick, because it is the first VR social collectible card game, which lets you choose your own faction and battle against other players in an immersive atmosphere, almost as if you are in a local medieval tavern. And while it does still have loads of room for improvement, improvement. At the end of the day, this game is still completely free. But on number 20, we have the hidden gem called VR1, which directly really stands out thanks to its very original art style. But while it only has 204 ratings, it does score a nearly perfect 5 stars, with the gameplay being a VR brain-bending puzzle shooter, where you will have to clone your own actions and make a time loop to pass the test and take out the enemies. But while you can also pass weapon between clones and dodge incoming attacks, it can often become quite difficult to wrap your head around the 50 different levels. But that's not all, because there are some other must-play VR games for your Quest 3. So click on the video that you see on screen right now to make sure you don't miss out. And of course, stay awesome.